What is up, besties, and welcome back to another catfish video. We are about to dive into a UK catfish episode that actually has Cami as a host. This is season 2, episode 4, Hayley and Alex. So like I said, we are back with Cami in an episode that has actually been highly requested by a lot of y'all for quite some time, but it's giving a little bit of a plot twist because we are in the UK. Uba welcomes Cami by giving her a spread of British food, but it actually looks appetizing, no shade. Because it's almost exclusively pastries, which thank God, because y'all know how Americans feel about British food.
It sounds like dog food.
No, it sounds like dog.
It's not good. But Cami then gives us her best British accent, and Uba gives us his best American accent, which honestly, kind of a slay.
Thank you all so much for having me.
Can we make sure that she's got water?
Oh.
We officially start off the episode with an email from Hayley, who lives in Gloucestershire. I think I said that right. I think, don't quote me. I think I said that right. 5 months ago, a guy who was exactly her type named Alex messaged her on social media. She says that the attraction was immediate and she quickly fell head over heels in love with him despite never meeting in person. He ducks and dodges all of her attempts to verify his identity, which is very sketchy. Our hosts hop on a video call with Hayley and she is super excited to see Cami, and honestly, girl, same. When Cami and I kikied in the DMs a little bit, I was geeked. They then give Hayley the opportunity and the space to talk about Alex, and she only talks about his physical attributes. She says that he's tall, he's dark, and he's handsome.
He is tall, dark, handsome.
Which, pause, because I'm black, I always thought that tall, dark, and handsome, you're describing someone's skin tone, right? Like, they're dark, like you like their dark skin, only to come to find out that white people just said that if the person had brown hair. Talk about culture shock. But anyways, she says that he's tall, he's dark, and he's handsome. He's got an amazing gym body, so he is her dream guy. She then says that she idolizes him, which for me, this is mistake number 1 because you never ever idolize a man. Why would you do that? But they have told each other that they are in love, and Hayley feels like he is the one, and I just need her to be so for real. I just need us girls to get a real grip on things. Just be a little bit for real, please. Hayley says that recently, Alex has been communicating with her less and less. To me, this is even more sketchy when we find out that Alex lives in Bristol, which is only about an hour away. I'm calling it right now, okay? It's catfish. It's giving catfish for sure. And based on the way Alex is moving, it could very well be someone that she knows. They of course agree to help. They hop off the call and they head out to meet Hayley. Both Cami and Uba are typically passenger princesses, so it only makes sense that they are being shuttled around this episode by production instead of one host driving. Because Uba doesn't drive and Cami don't drive in these episodes neither. They finally arrive at Hayley's and she is very excited to see them, and she just gushes more about her dream man. Hayley is under the impression that they are in an exclusive relationship with plans for marriage, children, the whole 9 yards. To which Cami and I share the same reaction. Like, you done lost your damn mind. What the hell are you talking about?
We want a family, we want marriage, we want it all.
You live an hour away from each other. In 5 months, he didn't make meeting you or even video calling you a priority, and yet you're convinced that marriage and children is in the future for both of y'all, and not just in the future for both of y'all, but for the future together. It's not giving. We see pictures of Alex, and Hayley tells us that he was a veterinarian, but gave it up to become a butler in the buff.
A butler in the bath.
At first, I thought she was saying a butler in the bath, and I was like, what the fuck is a butler in the bath? But she's saying a butler in the buff. Cami says, what the hell is that? And honestly, thank God she asked, because I'm also wondering what the hell is that? But Hayley explains that he's basically just a naked waiter for birthday parties and bachelorette parties. This is even more sketchy to Cami because she says that this makes him a hot model type, yet he won't show himself to Hayley, but he's showing his Bucci cheeks to everybody else.
What is that about?
Hayley is doing serious mental gymnastics, and I'm talking back flips, front flips, every type of flip that has ever existed to try and justify and explain Alex's refusal to make any sort of face-to-face contact. She says that Alex is a tech phobe who doesn't like social media, FaceTiming, texting, or phone calls. So this means that for 5.5 months, they have exclusively been talking to each other via DM.
He's just a bit of a tech phobe, like he doesn't like all the social media, he doesn't like FaceTiming.
Girl, I'm gonna need you to wake up, okay? Wake up and smell the fish. It's giving catfish. It smells like catfish. You are being catfished bad.
You are under spell.
those people.
Hayley then says that she doesn't want her insecurities to ruin things, so Uba asks her what exactly she is afraid of. Hayley says that she has been cheated on in the past, and she began to think that she wasn't good enough, and she begins to cry when explaining how being cheated on has destroyed her self-esteem and her self-worth. She questions how and why such a good-looking guy like Alex would want her. This is honestly heartbreaking. I really do feel for her, because you can know like mentally inside of your head that being cheated on has nothing to do with you, your self-worth, or anything that you did, and it has everything to do with the piece of partner responsible for said infidelity. But actually feeling that in your heart and healing from it are completely separate things. And to me, it's clear that she is not really healed from this. She hasn't really addressed it. So it explains why she was able to get into this sort of catfish dynamic in the first place. It made her a prime target for it. Hayley says that she doesn't want to push Alex away, and to me, it's clear that she is having a hard time figuring out the difference between her own insecurities and the genuine red flags that are all up, down, and through this situation. Like, it is possible that a previous partner has gaslit her and made her think that, oh, it's because of her insecurity, she's thinking these things would never happen, blah, blah, blah. So she's now internalized that, and she's putting that on this situation when it's a completely different thing. Hayley then tells us that at one point, Alex did invite her over for a date at his house where he was going to cook for her, plan a romantic night, all of the things. But as the day got closer, he ghosted, just completely disappeared.
He was like, oh, why don't you come over? Closer that it got to the date, kind of just went silent.
Y'all, I say this with so much love, care, and ultimate admiration for my girlies, my gays, and my theys. Please never, never go to a man's house for a first date. Don't do that. Don't do that. And for men, do not invite these women over to your house for a first date, okay? Because she could rob you. Then what? Then what? Then you have nothing.
That's one.
And for everybody else, I feel like it's a much more dire situation. Not to get too serious on y'all, for real. Life is already hard enough and scary enough as it is to exist as a woman or a femme-presenting person. So to go to someone's house on a first date, it just makes it so likely that something will happen to you. And that's just not a position that you deserve to be in. And I say this as someone who has been to a man's house on the first date, on the first meeting. And that's another story time that we can get into later. But it was not an ideal situation. And I was forced to do things that I did not want to do because I thought it was a fine idea to go to this man's house for the first time. And that's not me blaming myself for what happened, but that's me also understanding that going to someone's house who you don't know puts you in a very vulnerable position when you are already a vulnerable person. Moving on. She says that a week after their plans were supposed to happen, Alex messaged her and said that he couldn't contact her because his Instagram got banned because he posted an NSFW booty picture.
His Instagram got banned because he put a picture of his butt on there. He explains, and it was like, oh, it's for like better in the birth, like it's just promoting.
Be nice. I'm finding it. It take you that long to find it?
It does.
This doesn't particularly make sense to me. Not that the Instagram got banned, sure, that could happen, but he has her phone number. Alex has Hayley's phone number. So if he really wanted to contact her, he could have. Kamie says that even if it is really Alex, Hayley needs to be able to stand up for herself and demand respect, period. But Hayley says that she will be able to do that face to face, and I don't know if I necessarily believe that, but that's what she says. So the crew says their goodbyes and they head out. In the car debrief, Uba is very delulu, I'm not gonna lie to you, and he says that there's a chance that it really is Alex, but he's just not taking her seriously. However, Kamie says whether it is Alex or not, Hayley's heart is going to be broken because Alex is clearly hiding something. Honestly, thanks a billion to everyone who requested that I cover this episode, because I really can say this is the only Catfish UK episode that we have covered thus far that has the same Catfish US vibes. And I mean that in the best way possible. I'm really enjoying it, even though it's clear that Hayley's about to get f***ed up because this is not who she thinks it is. But the vibes are right with this one so far. The next day, we arrive at a cute little cafe to get the investigation started. They start by going on Alex's Instagram, and it's 100% giving catfish. Everything about it is giving catfish, in fact. It's giving stolen pictures for sure. Kamie finds one picture in particular very troubling because it clearly has a blonde woman in it that was just cropped out of the photo, but like barely cropped out. You could still see her hair.
Who is posting a picture of their face with half of it cut off, and who is that?
I find it troubling, yes, because there's obviously a woman in this picture, but also What is this tattoo, Mr. White Boy from the UK? What's this? Moving on. We see more pictures and the same blonde appears to be cut out of those as well. In one of the pictures posted on the Instagram, we see that he has no tattoos. So the timeline of the photos seems to be way off and they don't really know why yet. Uba then says that there is a veterinarian database that they should check out because if he is really a veterinarian, then he'll pop up. But of course, there are no matches, which isn't shocking because like I said, it's a catfish. It's a catfish. I'm not expecting that this person told the truth about anything. This could be because he is no longer a veterinarian, or it could also be because this person doesn't exist and he was never a veterinarian. We then finally get to reverse image search and the first two pictures get no hits, but the last one gets a hit right away. It's linked to a butler website where you can actually hire him, but we see that his name is not Alex. It is in fact Ryan, which not shocking. Not shocking in the slightest. But Uba brings up a good point. Usually people who do these kind of jobs, they have a stage name. So this could also just be his stage name, but we have no idea. They try and find out some more information about the company that employs or employed Ryan at some point. And they find an old Facebook page called Hunky Butlers.
You done lost your damn mind. When you get your damn mind, you call me.
I don't have anything to say. I'm thinking Hunky Butlers. I'm not thinking
Damn.
Never mind. Right away, they find the guy in the real pictures whose name is in fact Ryan, and his profile picture is the full version of one of the cropped pictures we saw not that long ago on Alex's Instagram.
That's him.
This is the guy.
Ryan. The blonde
The
girl.
blonde is in the picture.
So surprise, surprise, okay? Hayley is not talking to the guy in the pictures, but the guy in the pictures is actually in a relationship with a blonde woman named Lauren. So she's the one who was in all of those pictures, but like slightly cropped out. Kamie takes this as a very clear sign that Hayley is being catfished, but Uba is questioning whether Ryan is a cheater who speaks to girls on the side using a fake name and a fake profile.
It just wasn't gonna work, babe.
Okay, now I'm siding more with Kamie on this. However, Uba's question is not out of the realm of possibilities. On this crazy ass show, we've seen crazier things happen. Uba sends Ryan a message and asks him to give them a call. They head out to meet Hayley, and unfortunately, they have nothing but bad news to tell her. And this is a girl who needed good news. She's only getting bad news. As they get in the car, we see that Kamie is carrying around her British flags with her everywhere she goes, and that's so funny to me. As they are on the way to Hayley, they get a call from none other than Ryan. Uba briefly fills him in on the situation. He sounds absolutely shocked. He denies any and all involvement.
I don't know what Hayley, obviously I've not been speaking to anyone the last 5 months.
Uba doesn't acknowledge anything that he says. He just asks where Ryan is. Ryan says that he's in Oxford. I don't know anything about UK geography, so I don't know if these places are really close. I don't know what the T is, but Uba invites him to meet up with them. He is very willing to meet up, which is interesting to me. It's a little bit weird to me. Maybe it's him just being a nice guy, but something about that part of the situation feels off. I think it's because typically in the US version, they'll just get you to send like a video. They'll hop on a video call with the person so they know. But I think bringing the real person in person to meet is just a level it doesn't need to go to. And I'm also questioning why he's so down to agree to meet up. It just feels a little bit cloudy. Like, I don't know why you would do that, but maybe it is him just being a nice guy. And I'm just very, very skeptical because of how these catfish episodes go. They hop off the call and Kamie and Uba are inclined to believe that Ryan does not have any participation in this. But Kamie doesn't want Hayley to get her hopes up. Unfortunately, though, it is too late for that. Her hopes are all the way up and she's very delusional. So she's definitely about to get hurt. Hayley and the rest of the crew arrives at this adorable cafe. And as they fill her in on the findings of their investigation, she gets increasingly emotional.
Pull up some search results.
Which is understandable considering how invested in this relationship she is. Also understandable considering how her past relationships have gone. Even as they are telling her the truth of the situation, she continues her mental gymnastics to keep believing that she is talking to the guy in the pictures, that she's not being catfished. As she says, oh, so he's basically two-timing me, Ryan walks in. Girl.
It looks like he's basically two-timing me.
What's all this bullshit and shenanigans? What's all these shenanigans? Bitch, go to hell.
The timing and the setup of this is diabolical. You're telling me, Catfish production, y'all couldn't have waited more than 2 minutes before you send this man in? This girl, just messy boots. There was no proper heads up. There was no proper preparation. It was just, he's walking in and Cami says, oh yeah, and he's here now.
Also, he's here.
Talk about emotional whiplash. Hayley is looking at him just full of love, even though at this point she still thinks that like he might have been two-timing her. But Ryan completely pops her bubble. He says that he's Ryan, he's 28, and he has been in a relationship for the past 5 years. He is definitely not who Hayley is speaking to. Now, I think this would have been easier for her to digest had it just been a video rather than bringing him in person. And this is a girl who already suffers from shame and embarrassment issues. So to bring this person down, in my mind, it's just gonna add to her shame and her embarrassment issues. Like, they really just wanted to amp up the drama and bring old boy in person to crush her even more, which to me just feels unnecessarily cruel in a situation that is already quite cruel. Then Hayley makes her own heartbreak worse for herself when trying to gain an understanding of the situation by asking very specific questions, very in-depth questions, before crying and walking out.
I've not been like in a relationship with you. You're not the one that's been telling me that you left me. I just need a minute, sorry.
Cami walks out to comfort her, and I would try to tell you what Hayley says, but between the accent and the crying, I've got no idea what she said. I was rewinding it, I was trying to understand. I cannot understand what she said for the life of me. And for whatever reason, Catfish UK does not believe in subtitles in the same way that Catfish US does. Cami hugs her and encourages her to be strong so that she can get all of the answers she needs and deserves. Cami and Hayley walk back inside. Hayley explains why she's upset. Ryan is very understanding and very apologetic. Uba says that they are both victims in this and it is for sure a catfish, which duh, that was obvious since the beginning, brother. They thank Ryan for showing up and then he heads out. Uba and Cami are so kind and they're so gentle with Hayley, reminding her that she hasn't done anything wrong because, like I said, she deals with a lot of internal shame and guilt for bad things happening to her when those bad things aren't her fault. Even though I think it was obvious it was a catfish, okay? But being mistreated by other people, you didn't do anything to deserve that. That's not her fault. Hayley then agrees to reach out to Alex in a way that's very sweet and non-threatening as a way to coax him into a confrontation. She sends him a voice note. It's very sweetsy, all things considered, saying that she is with Catfish. She knows that he's been lying, but she wants to meet anyways despite all of that. After the voice note, Hayley says that now her biggest fear is that it's someone she knows and they've shown the messages to people around her way to make fun of her, which is that's a very dark place for your mind to immediately go to, and that would be very cruel if that is what someone is doing. Alex sees the message and he immediately gets mad at Hayley for contacting Catfish, saying she didn't need to do that. Well, dum-dum. Clearly she did, because here you are, still avoiding a meetup, still trying to duck and dodge. Hayley responds very calmly, says that he needs to let her know when and how he wants to meet. There's really no if. This is happening, so tell me how it's happening. He responds with a place and a time, but he insists no cameras.
Not today, neck.
What?
Not today, ankles.
Cami is not having it at all.
Nobody. The cameras are coming.
Yeah.
Show up or shut the fuck up.
This to me is very weird, and obviously their show is not going to do this, but to even make such a request is kind of insane because she doesn't know who you are, you know who she is, and you want her to come there unassuming, unprotected, alone? I don't think so. Cami says that he doesn't get to dictate or control the situation at all, so they waste no time heading out to meet the catfish. Hayley says that she knows exactly where they're going, so now she's even more worried that it's someone she knows. Just to remind you, I said from the beginning, it's a catfish, probably someone she knows. I said that. So they pull up to the meetup spot. It's very eerie, it's very ooky spooky, and I don't like that as a girly who doesn't like anything horror. I love a good thriller. I don't like horror. I don't like gore for the sake of gore. I don't like this eerie hello stuff.
Hello?
I don't like that. It's giving, there's gonna be a jump scare, and I don't like a jump scare. They walk around this random property like they're playing hide and go seek with this damn catfish. The crew heads down to a cabin looking type of building and they're spooked by a motion censored light. Oh. Like I said, it's giving ooky spooky. They knock on doors, they peer in windows, they get nothing. Hayley messages Alex once again and says that they're outside the address he sent. She yells and bangs on the window, nothing. We then see that he's seen her voice message, he didn't answer, and he didn't come outside, so they decide to just call it a night and head back to the hotel. Hayley says that she feels like she's been off because he didn't meet and he didn't have the decency to say that he wasn't going to show up. As they're having their car debrief, Camie wants to step in, and step in she does. She then sends Mr. Alex a message saying that they're gonna come back tomorrow at 11 a.m. and if he doesn't show up, then he will never hear from Hayley again. Okay, period, Miss Girl. It's very interesting to me because obviously Camie is a guest host this episode, but Uba really did take a back seat, and I don't think that that was intentional. I just think like low-key, Camie does a better job. She does a better job.
Wow.
So he just let her handle it. But the next morning, we see Camie frolicking, living her best life. Every girl needs to dilly-dally. I support dilly-dallying. Dilly-dallying for the girls. Camie and Uba pick up Hayley, and then they head out to meet Mr. Catfish himself. Hayley says that she has not heard from him, but she is hopeful that he will meet up anyways. Camie says that it's clear that even if Hayley doesn't know who it is, like who's been catfishing her, it's clear that they know her and they've kind of been plotting and planning this for a while, which is giving a very ooky spooky. As they pull up, Camie confirms we are all thinking that the property is still in fact creepy in the daytime, okay?
It's still creepy in the daytime, by the way.
We walk to the door and we see that Alex has left a note for Hayley, which what a bitch move to leave a note instead of actually meeting up.
Creep squad?
But she opens the note and it basically just says that the catfish is in love with her. He's always wanted to get close to her, but knew that she would never see him like that.
I am confusion.
And it's just a bunch of mumbo jumbo. It very much reminds me of when you're trying to meet a word count, but you don't have anything else left to say. That's what this letter feels like. And it also makes me feel like I'm being edged in the worst possible way. Like, who the fuck is the catfish? Just tell me. I'm a very impatient woman. Just tell me. The letter says that they saw how horribly Hayley's ex treated her and did what they could to get close to her and live the life that they wish they could have lived together. What the f? This is creepy. It says that they know that Hayley will probably never speak to them again, and to hear that face to face with all of the cameras would have been unbearable. They're ashamed of their behavior, but not of the feelings that they've had for her. She will always be beautiful to him, and then signs off the letter with XX Liam. Camie and Uba are like, who the hell is Liam? We then find out that Liam is a friend of the ex who was mentioned in the letter.
Who's
Who
Liam?
is Liam?
He was a friend of my ex's.
Messy boots, weird situation overall. Hayley says that they're not close, but they're cordial and friendly. So for him to do all of this is extremely unnecessary. Hayley rips up the letter and starts to cry because she feels really humiliated. Hayley says that Liam is not someone she would go for, so if he did approach her as himself, it would not have gone anywhere, and it's likely that he knew that, so he went this route, which just feels very manipulative and very creepy, to be completely honest. But also, straight up, Liam is an idiot, because how are you going to say, yeah, you don't deserve to be mistreated, and then you go out of your way to mistreat her for months and embarrass her on national television, on international television, okay? I'm in Canada and we're talking about this. He knew that she had low self-worth, low self-esteem, and doing this, of course, is only going to make that worse. So like, what was really the play here? I don't know. It all just feels gross and I don't like it. Camie says that the situation is not fair and he's a coward, basically. Hayley says that she doesn't want anything to do with him because there's no way she could trust him after being catfished. She has seen him in the past 5 months, but he didn't make any effort to speak to her or even acknowledge her, which makes all of this even more psychotic. Uba then tries to consider where Liam is coming from, but I don't think Hayley needs to hear any of that BS right now, because why he did what he did is completely irrelevant, especially because he didn't show up to explain for himself. But also, and Uba should have picked up on this by now, and I'm sure Camie did, and that's why she didn't even go down this line of thinking, but any justification for why Liam did what he did can easily be internalized by insecure Hayley, contribute further to her insecurities, and allow her to blame herself for Liam's actions or lack thereof when none of what Liam did is her fault. The only responsibility she really has in this situation is for not cutting things off sooner, but because of the predicament she's in emotionally, I understand why she didn't, right? So the blame is on Liam. Why he did it, irrelevant, doesn't matter. If he wanted to explain that, he should have showed up. They decide to head back to the car and head to the hotel. As they're driving back, Hayley says that she wanted answers. She got answers, so it's time to move on. Kamie and Uba give us some reverse accents one more time.
Bye, Uba. Cheers, mate.
Bye-bye.
Before we get into our 2-month follow-up. They waste no time calling Hayley, and she says she looks so much better. She looks so much better. She looks happier. She looks like she's got that spark back, and I love that for her. She says that she is back to herself. She feels more confident, and she hasn't bumped into Liam as she hasn't been out that much in her area. Uba drops the bomb that they were actually able to speak to Liam, but all Liam really had to say was that he was a coward, which period, not only were you a coward, you're a little fucking bitch, brother. He apologized for all of that, and he apologized for everything that he did to her, but again, he never said these things directly to her, said them to Uba and to Kamie, which is a made move. Hayley says that hearing that has confirmed to her that she doesn't want to confront him, she doesn't want to speak to him, and she thanks them for their help and for aiding her in gaining her confidence back. Besties, if you made it all the way to the end of the video, put a vomit emoji down in the comments because that's how this Catfish episode made me feel. Okay, we know that I think the Catfish UK episodes that we've covered in the past, I've said they're fake. They give very fake, all of it. This one could be fake, but given how invested Hayley was and how much she was crying and how emotional she was getting when talking about her trauma and all of these things, I'm not really thinking that it's fake. I don't think that this random girl would be that good of an actress. And to me, the situation makes sense. Like, it checks out that it would be someone who knows her, right? It would be someone who wouldn't want to talk to her in person about it for fear of rejection because she said he's not her type. He knows he's not her type, but it's also because he's friends with the ex, right? So if you go after your friend's ex, that friendship is over. That's dead, which is probably dead now anyways. I'm unsure if this one's fake. I think that Kamie did really well this episode. I love her. I think she's a great host. I think it comes so natural to her. Her empathy, her compassion, very natural. I think Uba's empathy and compassion is also natural, but because he's a journalist, he's very analytical and he's thinking from things from all sides, which is not a bad thing. But I think towards the end, when the man didn't show up and you're talking about why he might have done it, she doesn't need to hear that. I don't think she needed to hear that at all. But I do think that Uba and Kamie, they made a great team. A great team, for sure. Make sure to let me know your thoughts, your feelings, and your opinions down in the comments below. If you liked the video, then make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you are aware of every single time that I upload. If there's another episode you'd like to see me cover, you can drop it down in the comments below. Another series you'd like to see me cover, you can also drop it down in the comments below, or you can leave me a DM here on Instagram. I got some selfies coming your way, so you're gonna wanna go to Instagram, I promise you that. I've been reading your comments. We're gonna get back into the Queer Ultimatum and we're gonna get back into Married at First Sight Australia. I promise you. I promise you. Okay, besties? Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you in the next one.